Hi, this is the team at FX Interactive, and we'd like to show you some of the keys to dominating certain areas of the game, taking for granted you have already some understanding of the basics. Let's start with the tactics screen, specifically the formations panel, leaving aside, for the moment, the game styles. To create a personalized formation, we have two options. The first is to come here, click on Custom, and then click on this button that has a plus symbol in the center. This creates a custom formation, which is a copy of the formation we had selected. We recommend giving the formation a name that can be easily associated with the purpose. Just click on the space for the name. The other way to create a custom formation is by moving a player on the pitch to an empty area. This automatically creates a custom formation. For example, let's move the players backwards and save the formation as defensive. Notice the coloured boxes that appear in the play area. The brightest green indicates the zones where the player best performs and degrades to red in the zones where his performance is worst. The player suffers a loss of morale in the zones where he does not feel at home. This has a direct effect on his performance, which is the key value to judge whether a player is making a contribution to the team. The position that appears here at the top also gives us a clue as to where a player should play. Gold and yellow is the preferred position of the player. White means he plays well in that position, and grey that he does not perform well in that position. With no player selected on the pitch, in the performance by zone pitch we can easily see if we have players that do not perform well in the zones where they find themselves. It is important to have the players in their preferred positions or where they can perform, but we must be careful not to force the formation so that all the players can play in their preferred zones, as, in general, it's preferable to have a player in a position that is not theirs rather than have an unbalanced formation. An unbalanced formation can occur as the result of two causes. There are no players in the principal zones on the pitch. When this occurs, the game will notify us with a red rectangle in the areas we have left empty that can be taken command of by our opponent. The opposition will have a great advantage and be able to break our gameplay. The formation doesn't have a minimum of symmetry. The formation should be almost symmetrical, allowing one slot of difference between a player and his corresponding partner on the other side of the pitch. The formation pitch is a powerful tool in designing our own game plan, but we must be careful not to create an unbalanced strategy. It's advisable to avoid an unbalanced formation even at the expense of having a player outside of their preferred position. If we were short of players for a position in a strategy, we could think about changing to a tactic whose positions are more appropriate for our players, or signing players to fill that position. Although to do that we'd obviously have to have the financial liquidity to do so. These are themes we will look at in future videos.